Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Press Box. Brian Carson here with my co-host, Kenny Varner. Kenny B, what's up?
Yeah, not much. Just ending the awesome day that we had today and talking to some old friends and be glad to catch up with them.
Cool. Well, tonight we got something pretty cool. We got professional wrestling. We got some from the let me see if I get that right. The Honorary Wrestling Federation. Did I get that right?
That's right. That's right. You got it right.
All right. We have Matt TRK Silks, wrestler, and I guess you're co-owners, right?
Yeah.
Husband and wife.
Yeah.
And we have Trista Silks, who is the promoter and co-owner of the association, the federation. Thank you guys for coming on. Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you guys very much. I'll get it right out of the way. I've been doing media now for like the last year, so I'm kind of getting in the swing of it. This is actually my wife's, I think, only second podcast ever. So thank you guys for having us. This is really big for her as well as me.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, I was doing research and I saw your Facebook page and I'm like, well, hell, she's the promoter. She's got to be on. I got to ask her some questions about this.
Yeah.
Plus, we both do some work at the Sentinel.
Yes.
That's a
because
great
I
thing
freelance
to have in
there
common, right?
writing sometimes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She knows how cheap they are. All right, I'm going to start out with you, Matt. How did you get into pro wrestling? What was it? I mean, do you mind if I ask how old you are?
I'm 33, and no problem. No problem. I like telling people I'm 33. Some of them are very, very either surprised by it in a good way or surprised in a bad way. Like my brother Chuck's 10 years older than me. A lot of people thought I was older than him for like ever. So, yeah.
So you were probably Attitude Era, right?
Yes, I was. Yes, I was.
So was there any particular wrestler?
Yeah. The Rock. The Rock did it for me. I seen The Rock on an episode of Monday Night Raw. Now, I'd known of pro wrestling. I knew what pro wrestling was, but I wasn't like, I knew of it as being like Hulk Hogan and a couple of these other guys. But like, as soon as I seen The Rock in the Attitude Era, it was on the Monday Night Raw shows, that just hooked me. The showmanship of it, the theaterism of it all, the way that they were putting all the packages together with the videos. And, you mean to tell me this guy that's talking so cool can wrestle too? That was awesome. That's what got me drawn right into it, was The Rock and Stone Cold, Triple H, The Undertaker. So
that was definitely a classic era.
And Trista,
Yeah.
Trista, how did you start like getting into pro wrestling? Were you young or did you come in later to it?
Oh, I came in much later. No, I had seen it when I was younger and was into it. And obviously the biggest one was it's fake. I heard that and I was young, so I was like, I'm done. But Matt, of course, got me into it.
That's cool. So Matt, how did you did you just self-learn? Did you go to a school? How did you get into the sport?
Getting into the sport was like, I kind of did do the self learning part of it for like a long time, longer than what I should have. I was what a lot of people, we don't like to really use the term in the business of pro wrestling, but I was a backyard wrestler. So we drew large amounts of crowds to see us do our wrestling on a trampoline and in a yard, and it was free admission. None of the guys were really trained except for what I had taught them, and I only knew what I knew because I taught it to myself, and my brother and my friends obviously helped me. But I did the backyard wrestling thing for probably about 5 or 6 years. Made some really good relationships. A lot of those guys went ahead and started training with me when I started pro training in about 2010, 2011. I started training at Fort Noxious with Rob Noxious and all those guys. And pretty much, we went in, we had a big team of guys. We probably had about 20 people starting out with, and there might even been more than that. But we had about 20 guys. It dwindled down to like 4 or 5 real quick. And before you knew it, there was only 1 or 2 of us left. And, it's not for everybody. Let's put it that way. I mean, there's a lot of people, like my wife said here about, she had heard when she was younger that it was fake. It wasn't real. And, and the thing about it is, like, to hear people talk about it that way, and then to, know what I've put my body through. I mean, I'll go right into it and let you guys know. I had a show at the Lewistown Community Center here, probably, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And it was a show where I lost the heavyweight championship against James Ford. I had suffered 2 non-displaced fractures, which meaning they were in the right place and everything. But he landed on me, and after he landed on me, I still went through with the rest of the match, and I knew that there was some pretty humbling things to come yet. And I took I think I took like 3 power bombs after getting the ribs done the way I did. But I don't know, man. I've fought through a whole lot harder than that, being in the business and going through what I've gone through.
Yeah, I never honestly liked the word fake because get in the ring and see how it is,
Yeah. Yeah. I actually, at the school here not long ago. What's that?
Oh, no, it's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. We actually had a thing here at the school because we do the training right across the West End up here in Lewistown, 4th Street. We have a thing every single Monday. If you think that this isn't real, for $50, I'll give you 3 days and 1 week to be able to come up here and see just how fake it really is. I actually have two brothers that just started in the school here. They're doing phenomenal. They just got on to, being part of the school. The tryout basically gets you in there to see what it's all about, learn a couple things. And obviously you're trying out for the school. You want to become part of the team. And we've built the team up pretty big. We have some guys that come and go, but the respect aspect of getting in the ring, showing the respect for the different wrestlers getting in there, it's all about that. So yeah, I mean, it's hard training.
Yeah, I didn't know you had a school. Where's that at? And you said you give tryouts? What are you looking for when these guys come in? Is there any particular traits you want to see? What are you looking for, and where's your school at?
My school is actually located on 438 West 4th Street in Lewistown. We're right across the street from the West End Service Store here, right up past Sheets. I've never really looked at it that way. I've never looked at it in the way of, like, what am I looking for? Because I've had a lot of guys come in that are, body guys that look the physique, and there's some guys that even come in and they're different branches of the military. And these are guys that are stand-up guys. They're not afraid to go into warfare. I've had guys that have turned out to be cops I trained with, and but I don't really look for anything in particular except for passion. You have to have a whole lot of passion, and you have to have a whole lot of heart and a never say die attitude, because this is a sport that you're trying to learn. You're trying to teach yourself how to do these things at school, and you're going to get hurt along the way. And whenever you're getting hurt along the way, it's like, that's what they used to do back in the 80s. When Hulk Hogan was coming up, they broke his leg to see if he'd come back. Obviously, you can't do that stuff nowadays because, it's a softer world. We know that. But you just can't really break them in that way. I mean, I still break guys in, but what I do is I'll test their cardio. I'll test their endurance. I'll see exactly how they react under the pressure of having someone telling them what to do, because that's what I went through. Rob was crucial on me. All them years ago, we were just getting out of the phase of, hazing people and, checking to see if these guys are really into it. You don't really do that nowadays. And it really is important to see just how much heart these guys have. And you see it when they're learning and blowing up and trying to catch their breath. It's just like on the football field. It's like out there playing baseball. It's the same thing. I look for the quality of passion, never say die attitude. So, yeah, I'm looking for people too. $50 a tryout for 3 days and 1 week is not bad at all. It's probably the best tryout thing you're going to get.
For the guys who make the cut and
No, that's
continue
true.
and continue on, when you guys make it past a certain point, the whole group seems to be like a brotherhood. You guys work for kind of like camaraderie. Just talk about a little bit about how the relationships is once you get someone on there and you know they're going to be around for a while.
I mean, yeah, that's a good one.
We become a family.
Yeah, we really do. We become a family, and it's not. And see, that's the thing. Like, it sounds like a cliche thing. It sounds like something that just everybody and anybody would say, but I find it incredibly amazing that I can go out and I can have a match with, say, a guy like Edward James. He's been with me for a long time, and you know, he helps at the school and stuff, and he's working all these shows. But I find it amazing. We go out there and we have these matches to where we're out there literally, me and him, we smack each other around a little bit, you know, and we go a little harder with each other because we've known each other for 18 years. And to know that we come back to the curtain and we're like better friends, that's so crazy. I think it's because you know that you're trusting this person, and the object, you know, the objective of what we're doing here is to make it believable that we're hurting one another. But at the same time, you know, you have these guys' lives in your hands, and it's like when you join this team, you learn the essential things that you need to learn, how to basically take care of yourself in a situation, you know, whenever you're put into a match. And basically it's like if you hang around a couple weeks, you know, and you have a good attitude and you want to listen, you want to learn. I've had some guys come here and not have such a good attitude and it not worked out for them. They came and then they left and they just never came back. But the guys that do stick around here, and we have a lot of different personalities here, starting with myself. I say it all the time, I could be a drama queen all day. You know, we can all, I know we all can be, but seeing how you can get along with these people whenever you're in a high risk situation where you could hurt yourself, and you're high tense pressure, you know, like you're about to walk out the crowd and you got 300 to 400 people screaming out there. You got to think, okay, I really hope that I keep myself safe, this guy safe. So it's camaraderie's amazing, but the brotherhood, it's like, I don't know, it's unlike anything I've ever experienced than anything else. I mean, we all got each other's backs. I have a line of communication with my guys that if there's something going on outside of, you know, wrestling, that they can, I have an open door policy here. I always have, ever since the backyard days. And I look at it as, I want these guys to trust me. And of course, you know, I want to be able to trust them. So having that open line of communication and having the brotherhood and traveling the road, that's the big thing. Traveling the road, doing the trainings together, and creating the bond that you create it's unlike anything else. It is a lot like football. I have a lot of guys that played football, and they say wrestling's the favorite thing they ever did because it's all year round. It never stops, and you just keep building amazing relationships, and that's what I love about this business.
I got a question from a listener. He wanted to know if you've ever been in a shoot where it turned into a real fight.
Yes, I have. I've been in several of them, mostly with my brother, you know, mainly with the guys that I've known for a long time. It'd be something stupid like, oh, okay, you want to hit me hard. Okay. You know, so yeah, I've been in a couple of shoot fights.
Yeah, it seems like the relationship with your brother.
That's funny, with the brother.
You're always side by side, and then you guys are fighting against each other. But that's just typical brothers, you know, being brothers.
Yeah.
But you gotta. Some of the hardest matches probably were against Chuck. Am I right?
Yeah, they were, but it was for different reasons. Chuck's a guy that I have always looked at, and I thought, you know, he had a great look. He had possibly one of the better opportunities of being able to be seen on maybe a global scale. You know, I really did. I always thought that. and he always had like the feel for it. There's certain things that that you learn in wrestling that just either come to you or it takes a really long time for you to learn. He was somebody that caught on very much. The harder parts for me were just doing the matches because, you know, it is your brother, you love him, and me and him, we have a great relationship. You can hit each other harder, you know, you can take it further, you can talk crazier things, and you can talk smack a whole lot more. But also, it's harder when guys don't necessarily train as hard as they could. You know what I mean? This is a business that you really do have to devote 110%. I think if my brother would have invested half of what he invested into the bodybuilding world, I think that he could have been a fantastic professional wrestler. But, you know, our paths went a different way. He still comes in, checks things out, but I can't see Chuck taking the ring again. I can't.
So, Trista, you know, how did you guys decide, hey, let's start our own federation? Let's do this. How did that come about?
Well, that really came about when, like he said, he was backyarding. He had his own thing then, and he really just wanted to start that again. But becoming a promoter, owning a company, and also trying to wrestle for a living, it would become very hard. So I think it was about 4 years ago that I said that I would be the promoter and I would do what it took to be able to do that for us.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of other
bad.
stuff too.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good, man. There was a whole bunch of other things too. I mean, it's just really wanting to be able to give an alternative, give an alternative brand to Lewistown, because, you know, wrestling is really hot in Lewistown, and we had a lot of people ask us for a long time, when are you guys going to bring your own brand? You know, so Trista, and she's done a fantastic job too for being what we call green in the business and learning and making decisions and stuff. She's handled the ball fantastic. We've had a lot of things that we've had to address already that, you know, she's handled extremely well, and she understands the business aspect of it, taking care of the paperwork, all of that. And, you know, we leave the body slams to this guy.
So, Trista, what was the biggest learning curve on being a promoter? What did you have to learn? What do you think you're better at now after 4 years of doing this?
It would definitely be the legal standpoints of everything, because there's a lot of different rules that you have to go by, not just from the wrestlers to the show. It's everything behind the scenes that nobody really sees. But I think slowly we've become better at making sure that everything is in line to where it needs to be, that we continue to grow.
There is
Matt, sorry, Kenny.
Oh, that's okay. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. You go ahead. You got a question.
Oh, okay. There's been one heck of a buzz about you guys, and I understand that the last couple matches that you've had has been close to, if not sold out. Just talk about the fans and how they've really came to follow you guys.
You want to answer anything on that?
Well, one, he started a following from when he was a teenager, and thankfully they have followed us from that time to now, and it greatly helps that we continue to go throughout PA, that we've pulled people not from Lewistown to come and watch what we have to show.
It also has a lot to do with promoting, being able to, you know, not only invest the money that you need to invest, but invest the time, and having patience in that time is really the thing that goes far here. I mean, obviously, if we're going to run a show and I tell everybody, hey, we're going to run a show tomorrow, ticket sales ain't going to be very good, you know. But if I if I were to sit here and I say, well, our next event at the Lewistown Community Center is, it's May 13th, which it is, we have a good bit of time to be able to get those tickets out. But I also have the time to be able to make the promotional things, like say a video trailer, be able to let the people know, okay, so this is pro wrestling. But it's not just pro wrestling, it's more or less on the lines of sports entertainment, because you get all of the things that you would get on TV, if not, a little bit more, because we give you all those things on TV. We give you the promos. We give you every one of these athletes that steps in the ring, and which I tip my hat to all of them, everybody that ties their boots. Those guys getting in the ring, and those guys are the ones that are selling your company also. They're going around, they're flyering, they're selling the tickets, and all my students they're made to at least sell 10 tickets to be able to get, hey, we have 5 guys or so, that's 50 tickets right off the bat. And as long as we know we're gonna have sound in that building, it's great. Now, is it better to have a whole lot of people? Yeah. Now we had an October show that wasn't as big as all of our other ones, but one, it was around October and it was around the Halloween time. So I'm not a big guy to make excuses, but what I will say is there was different things that I think that I could have done, and maybe even my wife and everybody else, to maybe promote that show a little bit more to be able to get those people in there. But I also think it goes a far way with the fans when the people are believable. When the wrestlers that are taking the ring, they look like wrestlers. Whenever they sound like wrestlers, if you got a guy going out there and he's mumbling around and he's talking like, you're not going to believe what he's saying. But if I come out there and I'm like, oh yeah, let's go guys, welcome to the show, they get behind me, because every time I go out there, I do that. And you pack the crowd. The more you make them feel involved with it is another step as well. It's just, this is all a learning curve. Me and her talk about it all the time. I always tell my guys, I don't know anything about anything at all. I just know what's worked for me, right? And what's worked for me is pushing this. Back in the day, we didn't have the internet. Now, it's pretty impossible to not sell tickets. You have to be trying to not sell tickets nowadays, because there's so many people that are involved and they want to see this live entertainment. And to me, there's just no other live entertainment like pro wrestling. And I think HWF, I think we do it different. I'm not saying we do it better. I'm not saying we do it worse. I think we do it different, and we have a different following as well. And I'm extremely thankful that we have that following.
So Trista, what is your main marketing? How do you get that word out there? Is it through your Facebook page? Because I'm going to put that link up here in a minute.
Oh yes, we do a lot of the marketing through Facebook. You can find us through Honorary Wrestling Federation, and we do a lot of flyering.
Let me put that up since you said that.
Yeah, and the posters. Obviously.
But yeah, flyering is huge. We always try to go to the little businesses here, and just anywhere that we think that the traffic goes. So that way it's seen. We've done a billboard. We do ads on Facebook as well.
Giveaways.
We do giveaways for tickets for the show. Every show.
That's cool. You got any businesses sponsoring you yet?
We did. We actually did. There was a little change in ownership of it, but DNC Thrift on Valley, when they were on Valley Street there, they were helping out with sponsorships. And really, the sponsorships are that's what the goal is. The goal is to be able to have, like she said, these smaller businesses in Lewistown. You can get a bunch of them together, and if they can maybe take care of the building, if they can cover the building, then you can invest more into the show. You can bring even more talented guys in. Maybe even one day bring in one of these big WWE names, which we have not done yet. Everybody that's come through HWF has been working their butt off on the indies. They've been going out there. They've been paying their dues. A lot of guys are newer. I love to give the opportunity to the greener guys that are trying to make it. I don't try to book guys that, I'm not booking guys just to book them. I book the guys to, that I see that are really out there trying to make a difference, and they're not killing on a rate. They're not coming in here and telling us they want too much money or anything. But the sponsor part of it would help immensely, and we have been looking out to do those things. There's a couple things I have in mind that I think that would be able to kind of balance each other. You know what I mean? Because I've always looked at it as like I told her, we get Gus's Pizza one of these days, man. I'll do the commercial any day for Gus's Pizza because I love that place. And it's like I look at it as if you're going to do it, you put the guys out there and you put them in the spot to do the promotional ads. You can make them funny, whatever. But that's what we're working on now, is trying to get more sponsors.
So you're booking. How many shows do you do? Do you do one a month, or how many shows do you do?
So our HWF show we do every other month, and mainly that is off of it's not cheap to run in that beautiful building, Lewistown Community Center. It's not cheap. So we do it every other month, but we also have a sister promotion that we basically run also, NCW. And that we do that down in Bannerville. We have actually an NCW show coming up the ends of April. But what we do throughout the time of those the off month is say we'll get a ring rental in maybe McConnellsburg, West Virginia, Maryland, or maybe another surrounding state, and we'll take the ring out there. All of the students travel with us. We set the ring up. She just did a show 2 weekends ago. She promoted a show for another company in PA here, was up in McConnellsburg, and all of our students went up there. We set the ring up. A lot of the students had an opportunity to get into a battle royal, so it builds their experience level up as well. And myself and Artie Mosh, we're the sons of Mifflin County. We represent Mifflin County everywhere we go. Like, we're in this tag team that we go to PWX in Pittsburgh. This Saturday we're traveling to Pittsburgh for PWX, and we're in a tag team match. We're the Sons of Mifflin County versus the tag team Violent Love. And all four of these guys, myself included, train at this school. So we try to get out to these other promotions to get them experience. It also helps me. And then, then you're able to book these other people because you're brushing elbows with some other really amazing talents. So I'm okay with doing the every other month at this point right now because of how busy we are. But we are looking to be able to do a monthly show within the foreseeable future.
So, Trista, you get involved in the actual... Sorry, Kenny. I talk too much.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. You have a lot of local talent that wrestles for you. Just name some of the guys that you have that have come out and done some stuff for you.
I would say I'll get online. Eric Hamill, Edward James, Artie Mosh, Rick Scott. There's a couple other guys, but and Andrew Lovelace, and we have a fantastic referee that's training to be a wrestler too. And she's a female, Katie. Ashlyn Shaw, I should say. That's her stage name, Ashlyn Shaw. But Andrew Lovelace is another one. He joined us about a year ago, and he's caught on pretty well too. Him and Edward James are in that tag team, the Violent Love tag team. But I would say my breakout guys have been Edward James and R.D. Mosh. Eric Hamill had taken a little bit of a break, but Mosh and James, man, Edward James just come off of an amazing title run as Extreme Heavyweight Champion for HWF. I couldn't be any more proud, and I gotta commend him also. We have that show at the end of the month here, NCW, and we had a star that was set to be booked here, and he was booked in HWF before, and he wasn't able to do the event, so. I'm just like, Edward, what do you want to do? I can't take you off the card. And he just looks at me and says, I don't care who I wrestle. He's just that much into it that he doesn't want to be in a comfort zone. You know what I mean? So, we pitched out a name, we got him hooked up. And the thing about it is that's the type of attitude you want, is it doesn't matter who it is. It'd be like a fight. You know what I mean? Like, it don't matter who it is. I've done the training. I can get in there and I can go with the best of them. That's the type of attitude that we like to have. And these couple guys that I named They're doing amazing. I'm proud of them. They've all made myself and my wife look amazing, and they've also done, you know, a rough job too. But that's in the learning curve of this business. It's with everybody.
Trista, do you get involved in the wrestling part at all? Like being a manager, a mouth, whatever, even if you're not wrestling?
No. I mainly stay behind the scenes now. Once in a while, I do have my moments that I need to go out there and straighten some wrestlers out.
She did stop my last match. There's a lot of people that are questioning if my wife did not intentionally strip the title off the heavyweight champion. There was a controversial ending to Rise Up at the Lewistown Community Center, which seen my wife stop the match. I think it's because she loves me and she didn't want to see me get severely injured because I was already injured, but she stopped the match. So I guess she's starting to get into her own little story, I guess.
There you go. She's the boss.
Oh, yeah, she is the boss.
Well, I tell you what, I can't blame her. I saw a picture of your heavyweight champion, and it looks like he got right out of the insane asylum. I mean, it's like, my God.
Yeah, he's incredible, and I tell you, you know, you live up to the stories. You put, you know, you make sure that the characters and the way they're portrayed are great. And I would be remiss if I didn't say I think James Ford is one of the most fascinating human beings I've ever met. I mean, to meet him in person compared to who he is in the ring is vastly different. But he's helped our show immensely. He is a pro's pro, and if there's anybody in this business or in this company that I could see carrying that heavyweight championship and being believable is James Ford. But I had a match with an incredible, talented individual, Zach Rain, the last show at Reanimation. And in my opinion, when it comes to getting in the ring and being able to go bell to bell, I don't think there's anybody in the state of Pennsylvania better than Zach Rain. I don't. I think he's the best. But James Ford, I don't even want to say he's number 2 because he's heavyweight champion, you know, and I don't want him to powerbomb me again. Not quite yet, but he's a fascinating individual. So incredible, and very, very impressive.
He's definitely got the look. I know that.
Yeah.
It's like he has that look of like, don't meet him in a dark alley.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I know that's the saying, don't meet him in a dark alley. I don't want to meet him in a well-lit room either. I just don't. I met him in a well-lit room before. It didn't do this for me. Yeah.
I want to get your opinion on this. Do you think wrestling was hurt when they came out and said it's entertainment?
I don't think it was hurt. I think the place where I think it got hurt was it made what we call smart marks, which I call myself, my wife as well. We are smart marks. So if anything, it hurt our feelings maybe that Vince was just so okay with saying, you know, that it was entertainment. But I think what it did is it helped it because you have a different mindset when you look at it as trying to say, well, it's real, like it's the guy's going to go out there and really put his elbow through his head, you know what I mean, like UFC. I mean, that's immensely different. I look at what we do and how we're doing it as it is entertainment, because whenever I'm getting ready to do my big moves, I get flashy, you know. I try to make myself look cool because the people are going to follow that. If I'm, like I said about the promos, if someone's saying something and you can't believe them, you're not going to get invested into it. But you have somebody that I call it popcorn wrestling. You know what I mean? You have somebody that's like, oh, boom, get back up. Oh, boom, get back up, and has that high energy. Fans are always going to get behind that. I think if anything, the word entertainment, I think, made it to where fans could just nonchalantly say that what we do is not real. If anything, that kind of maybe hurt it, but if anything, I think it made wrestling bigger. I think it made it look, you know, it was looked at more like a movie. And that's the way I explain it to people because, you know, when I was going after the heavyweight championship a year ago, I told everybody it's a Rocky movie, it's a Batman movie. It's just like all those other things. Batman gets his tail whooped the entire movie, but he comes back at the end to save the day. And sometimes he gets the girl. I just so happen to already have the girl, and I was lucky enough to become heavyweight champion. But now I'm back on the slide, man. Now I'm going back down and working myself back up, and you can't be on top all the time. And I know we want to keep some things without saying them, but I also wanted to say that there was no one came to me, not her, not anybody else that we respect. Nobody else came to me and said, "Hey, I think it's time for a change. I think you've been champ for too long." It was never anything like that. It was, that guy that we were talking about, James Sport. He's a hell of a guy, and I know Kenny, you help with the Burning Bulldogs, and I don't want to kill Ford's credibility, but that man drove 2.5 hours to come here to play special needs football with them kids, and didn't ask for a dime. I looked at my wife in the car and I said, that's your next guy to run here. That's your next big star. And I don't have a problem investing in him because, one, he didn't have a problem coming down here and, doing such an amazing thing. And I love doing the stuff that we do with the special needs football team. And of course we have Willie here, and it goes so far with them. And when it goes so far with them, it goes really far with me as well. So it's amazing, dude. It really is.
Well, I know the kids just absolutely enjoy you guys. They look forward to playing you. In fact, they want to play you 3 times coming up this coming season. So,
We'll
yeah,
play
they
them how
really
many
look
ever
up to
times
you.
need.
Awesome.
Well, it was good. I like your point of view from that. See, I told you on the phone today, I am old.
Yeah.
So I grew up with like Bruno Sammartino and superstar Billy Graham, who Hulk Hogan ripped off completely.
He did. He did.
And
He did.
Oh my God, the look, the sound, the way he talked, everything.
Yep.
To me, I think it hurted a little. Oh yeah, I just think it hurted a little bit because back then my mother was like a Christian woman, but when wrestling came on and the bad guys came out, she would go ballistic.
Yep.
She would go insane.
Yep. And
then later on when we got cable and stuff, and you had, here's my nice little Christian mother, and Jim Cornette would come out. And Cornette would come out with his tennis racket, and she would be like, "That son of a bitch."
Yeah. We say that about him sometimes here too. I love Cornette.
I just think it's missing something. Like I try to watch like AEW. I think is absolutely garbage.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
It's garbage.
Yeah. There's
and even WWF, even WWE now.
Yeah, it's different.
It's going really more to like if you're good on the mic, you'll get promoted up. If you're not, you're mid card.
Yeah, and see that.
But forget right that. Let's talk about.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I feel you 110%. So, there's actually one guy that I do believe in AEW has what it takes to become like the next Nature Boy. I really do. I think MJF is carrying his own load there. He's a guy that can talk on the mic. He can get in the ring. He's very well versed in the wrestling world of being able to do the holds, but he's believable.
And he pisses people off.
And he throws water on kids.
Yes,
and he throws drinks on kids, man.
Yeah, that's rough. And to me, I look at it. There's a thing that's gone too far, and there's a thing about getting heat, and then there's just going too far. And I think we live in a time now to where you'll catch these videos on the internet on these indie shows to where these guys are just doing outrageous things, giving the business a terrible look, terrible name to get a little bit of reaction on the internet. And it has nothing to do with a hold. It has nothing to do with doing what I hold so precious to my life is, the art of pro wrestling, and not pardon my French, but shitting on it. And I think that there's a lot of guys that do shit on it. I think that it's hard to promote someone like an MJF because you don't want to take his wings off. You don't want to take what makes him special, and it is those tiny little things that he does. I mean, I didn't agree with him throwing the drink on the fan, but whenever he said, "Oh, the fan looked thirsty," that's where I'm like, okay, well, I can see this guy is like just trying to get heat. I can see he's just trying to get heat, but at the same time, if it was my kid,
I love that.
yeah, and the kid got to meet his favorite wrestler and stuff. So really, did he really lose out? But I don't think you should. We had a guy here. Vam Williams. You want to talk about a natural heater? He come in here. He worked for us for a number of shows. And another guy that I think is incredible talent. He's a little bit different. I'll say that. But the second that we decided that we were going to work together, and we did a spot with him, we got a great reaction. And I said, "Oh man, this is going to be great. We're gonna draw him." We did. It was a great show. But this goes into that shoot question from earlier. Vam came in to do the heavyweight title match, and he gets that heat as soon as he gets out there. The people boo him. They just cannot stand him. And before he got there about 8 minutes before our match. And there's a lot of people that just say, "Hey, don't book that guy ever again," because he's not reliable. But the way he came in, the way that we had our exchange in the locker room, that was 100% real. And the way I looked at it was, hey, it's either going to be really good, it's going to be really bad. We get out there, we made magic. We never touched each other before that night. We got out there, we made magic, and I think that a lot of it had to do with that real anger I had when he rolled in there late, But I look at myself as a professional that I can handle myself in the ring, and I'm not going to shoot on somebody just because of them maybe not making the right choices. But a guy like Vam is a perfect heel. And you can have him with the kids. You can have him around it. But it's just these guys that feel the need to swear all the time and to take it just the disgusting parts. That's not heat. That's you just being a dick. You know what I mean? And nobody wants that. Do you want to be entertained? Yeah, I mean, you want to boo the bad guy. The fans know what to do. You don't have to take it, as far as Max throwing a drink on the kid. But, maybe he was thirsty. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Matt, I'm warped because when I was growing up, I liked the heels.
Mm-hmm. Me too. I love it.
That says something about me, I guess.
To be honest with you, this is something I'll give you. So normally I'm a baby face. So normally I'm a good guy, here in Lewistown and a couple other places. But I love being a bad guy. I think being a bad guy it's so much more fun, but when you're a baby face, you can't start the match off by punching the guy in the face. That's not a good guy move, right? It's not a good guy move. So if you're telling me that I get to be a bad guy, okay, so I'm a bad guy. I'm gonna get to punch him in his face. Awesome. I like this. You know what I mean? And I don't have to try anything. I don't have to be, all up and, looking pretty about it. I'll just do whatever is the easiest thing to do. That's what the bad guys do, right? I guess.
Yeah. Well, I hope you don't mind. I stole these from your Facebook site to promote it. You've got a show coming up. And, well, that's not it. There it is.
Yeah.
As soon as I click it, there it is. The Ass Kicking Saturday night.
That's it.
Doors open at 5. The bell's at 6. May 13th at the Lewistown Community Center. And you got this animal here.
Yeah.
James Ford going against Sledge Gibson. And I read he's relatively new, Sledge, correct to you guys?
Yep. He's relatively
You want to talk about the show?
Oh yeah. He's an incredible talent. I think Sledge is a guy that's gonna, really, really get his feet under HWF. I think he's able to carry us to another place. I think this is a match that really does look like a heavyweight bout. You know, both guys look to be, believable in their own right. They both have amazing athleticism. When it comes down to the main event, you want the main event to look like the biggest thing on the show. You want it to pack a different punch from the rest of the card. I think building a card and portraying it to getting it out there to the fans is, your show's got to have this thing. It's got to climb up. It's got to be like a roller coaster. And, building up to those main events, the main event's got to be good. I mean, myself right now, like I said, I'm coming off this rib injury, so I haven't officially gotten booked in a match per se. I have an idea of, the direction that we're going to be going. I will be at the event and everything, but there are a number of other matches that I think that are worthy of talking about. RD Mosh is, on a winning streak. He just defeated Red Dog, the man that broke his jaw at our last Summerfest show. And that was a legitimate shoot thing. He was out of the business for a little bit because of having a broken jaw, but he has a pretty big match against Lestat, the Banana Man, which is an HWF. He's grown to be an original here. People really like him. Let me see. I think there was another really big match. Yes, there is. There's a tag team match that's actually taking place that I'm really excited about. Neverfall. That's Zach Rain and John Roden, and they're going up against Saturday Night Special, the tag team debuting here, which I think is great. We had the name of the show Ass Kicking Saturday Night, and I don't know if you noticed, but I put the dollar signs in there so that we wouldn't have an official cuss word on the poster. But I think a match like that really fits in. It goes along with the show. It fits right in with that entertainment thing that we were talking about. Saturday Night Special coming in here and having the tag team match with Neverfall and building up the tag division and having another tag team match on the card. I mean, it's the first time that we've ever had 2 tag matches, and we're building up to the tag team titles. We are going to be unveiling a brand new set of HWF Tag Team Championships, and our hope is to have the winners being declared at Summerfest, which is August 27th at the Lewistown Community Center as well. And I think the tag division is only going to get better. Introducing the Tag Team Championships is something that I'm very proud of because I've really fallen in love with the pro wrestling part of it when it comes to tag team. But yeah, I think those 3 matches alone are pretty big. We have a friend of mine actually is traveling 500 miles to come see this show from Tennessee. So we're really, really excited about that.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, some other talents that we're going to have on the card as well. I'll name them off. With Aaron Connors coming in. He's a tremendous talent. John Washington.
Yeah, I saw this. You got a fatal.
Yep, and
returning.
Madness
Threat.
Trip's coming back. Yep, and the kids love Madness Trip. They love him. Aaron Connors is a bad guy, and of course that John Washington, man, he's a different cat. He's a bad guy as well. I think Madness Trip's got all. I think he could take both of them. I think it's going to be a great comeback for him. And I think the other big thing that I would say is about a match that I can actually announce here on this podcast is a match. It's a tag team match. It's going to be Violent Love versus returning Regulators. So we're really excited about that match. Like I said, 2 tag matches on one card. It's unheard of for what we do here in HWF. So it's pretty big. We're all about history here. Everything's got to be about history. And I even want to see the tag titles in the main event. I think I want to see them in the main event when they're debuted.
Cool. How do you how has the audience been? Is it growing? Are you seeing it's taken off? Maybe eventually you're doing it at the community center, but maybe expanding outward to other places.
Oh, we would love to have our audience grow so much that we need to find a new building. The community center does hold a good amount, though, and we're hoping that we grow large enough that we can fill it to where it's standing room only.
Yeah, and other places. I mean, we've really talked about taking HWF or NCW, the brand, and taking it to, like State College, and trying our cards there. That's a different market. It's a whole different experience. I think right away when I think about Penn State, I think about the college campus. I think about how well wrestling's received over in that area. So I think that's something that we're going to look at in the next year or so. But as of right now, we're trying to get that standing room only at the Lewistown Community Center, and I know that we there for a while pro wrestling, and we're really proud about this too. There for a long time, pro wrestling was banned from any school district here in Mifflin County. There was no wrestling allowed here. There was a couple bad incidents with another team, and it took some time, and we talked to the right people at the district, and they've actually opened up to discussions of us having shows maybe at the old high school that's now the middle school. We've talked with those people, and obviously those buildings are a little bit more expensive, so you want to save that. You want to have that in your back pocket. It makes me feel good knowing that we've done such a great job, and we have such a great rapport with the building that we run in right now, that we pretty much could get anywhere we wanted to go. But it's making the decision at the right time when it's affordable, making the right idea happen. I think if we would bring in a big wrestling name at some point, I think that would be a great idea. It would be a school district, but moving all around through here, I mean, obviously HWF was made for Mifflin County, and even when we were outside of Mifflin County, there's a lot of people that say this place is not great. My mindset is I want to change that. I was always a kid hearing, oh, there's nothing to do here.
Mhm.
And like, I just watched my son that is 12 years old, and he's been training with us. I just watched him in the ring moving around today, and I was like, you know what? If this is a sign of things to come, whenever I decide to back off and, these younger guys step up, I think we're in good hands, because, we want something for the younger kids. You should see the reactions on these young kids' face when we go out there and we do what we do. And it's the reaction that they give us is what really is the pay for a guy like me. You know what I mean? And then having the encounter with the kids, taking the time, and like the one kid, I told him, I said, I think you could beat James Ford. And you should have seen the kid's face. He truly, if TRK told him that, then maybe it's possible. You know what I mean? And like, that's the thing to me that is just incredible. I love seeing all the fans, old, young, it doesn't matter to me. As long as we can we can evoke emotion out of them. That's what we're trying to do here, is get the emotion and also leave a really good thumbprint at the end of the day.
Nice. Kenny, any questions you got?
Well, one thing that I've noticed being around Lewistown, you got to be happy and knowing that you guys are really making an impact when you see different people wearing your merchandise. And I know I've seen it around quite a bit. And when you see that, how do you feel? That's got to make you feel pretty good.
It's an amazing feeling. It's gratitude, and it's also a humbling experience. And I'm a guy that I've met the big wrestlers, and I remember that feeling of whenever I met them and seeing them live, and then seeing somebody come up to your merch table and buy your merch. That's cool. But being out in the public and seeing somebody walk around and having something that it's incredible. Like the words are hard to find for something like that, but humbling is probably the best one. And I mean, like, I've seen families wearing our stuff, and that to me, and I don't even care if it's just TRK stuff. You know what I mean? If it's HWF or it's one of the guys from the school, that means that we're really getting out there. And if somebody is willing to separate themselves from their hard-earned money to buy something that represents you and what you're doing, a lot of people already questioned from the get-go. It really is. It's a gratifying experience, because you're, like I said, separating people with their money, and you know how hard that is. You really got to be into something to be able to do that. And to me, it's incredible. And I can't find any other word for it but humbling. And it's everything that I've ever wanted out of this business is for someone to really see me for what I've wanted to do. You know what I mean? And what that was is be a good wrestler, and like Amber Geedy, and Willie,
Yeah.
I credit those guys. To be honest with you, I think Amber and Willie have become like managers of mine, and they don't even know it. They tell these people about us, and they wear our T-shirts and stuff, and it's like, I love that, because at the end of the day, that goes to show just how much those two are really involved in it. And I'm just so happy that we've been able to make an impact on them, and we don't ever give up on them. We keep bringing them back. We do what we can to lift them up, because at the end of the day, them wearing our stuff lifts us up.
Nice. In the end, what is your vision for this company? Where would you like to see your organization go?
Just to continue to grow and to stick around as long as possible. Continue to allow Lewistown to have just something to escape, hopefully have the kids of Lewistown get into it and give them something to do.
Inspire. I say inspiring people, and I see it all the time now. And like, you can tell that we've got a little bit of a stranglehold on the community now when it comes to people seeing what we're doing and seeing the positivity that we have here. And I look at something like that and I say, where do I want to see us 10 years from now? I want to see us keep going, man. I want to see people still caring about pro wrestling. And if I'm doing it, cool. If I'm not, cool too. As long as we're still able to get them HWF letters out there, continue to put on a pristine, clean product. I mean, if you watch any of our shows, we obviously plug the YouTube channel for HWF. You can go there, you can watch all of our matches and how well those matches are put together. I want to see the production stepped up. I want to see our team, get even closer. We have an amazing team, from Sam Bumgardner to, Don Kerstetter, Tim Miller, Pamela Duye, all these amazing people that come in, and they're silent people that are behind the scenes that really make a guy like me be seen, and make a guy like me believe in myself, so that I can have other people believing in themselves. I just want to see HWF continue to go well after I'm, gone. I want to see this as something that continues to progress. And not only that, I would like to be the best in PA. I think that we have, like I said, an alternative brand. I think our posters, our advertisements, to like the all-around production is amazing, and I just want to continue to grow. I'm just blessed that we have this opportunity.
Awesome. Now that we have the two bosses here, Kenny and I want to be a tag team. We're going to call ourselves the Fat Bastards, but we can only go 3 minutes at a time.
Okay. All right. Well, I got
3 minutes.
I got just the thing. Yeah, we'll get you guys in a tag
And we
match.
don't want to
in and out, easy.
And we exactly. And we don't want to meet James Ford at all.
No, you don't. No, you do not. You want to try to stay away from him as much as possible. Yeah.
But I think we got a cool name, our the Fat Bastards, because
that's incredible. That's an incredible name. Now the big thing is, at the end of your promo, are you going to tell your opponents to get in your belly?
Yes, I am.
That's the gimmick. That's
my
the
fat
gimmick.
rolls. I'm going to suffocate.
Mass produce it, make some money.
I'm going to rip off my. I'm going to rip off my shirt and go, you're going to be sucked up in my fat rolls.
There you go. There you go. That works too. And then you could do like a bowling ball roll into the corner, and I could be your finish. Yes, we can market it.
That's right. No, I can't rolls.
We'll get you there. Yeah. That's why we got the school.
I can't roll.
We could come out to the Fat Boys.
So Kenny and I are two sports. That's right. Kenny and I are two sports writers, and sports writers aren't in shape. That's why they write sports instead of doing it.
I don't know. There's some. I know. I see Kenny out there hustling on the field all the time. So I don't know. I think just a little bit of work, y'all could be just the bastards.
No, the fat will always be there. So
Yeah.
Slap the belly before you do your finish, like Kamala.
yeah, man, it would be like body types. It would be like King Kong Bundy and Abdullah the Butcher.
Mm.
Great names. Awesome. Awesome.
But so you got the show coming up the 13th of May. How do you? I don't want to
It's okay.
like ruin the
You can
kayfabe
ask.
stuff, but how do you come up with the storylines? I mean, do you work with the wrestlers to come up with that, or is it just you guys off the top of your heads?
It really depends on the story, because there's a lot of different ways that you can tell these stories. So if I was to say, I don't know, if me and Trista were involved in something, say that we were involved in a story that we were a tag team or something, and say something happened with the crowd and it happened organically. I would like to try to go down that road of trying to do that organically sometimes. But when it comes down to it, I have a staff, a team, a creative team between myself, my wife, and like Sam Bumgardner, and we have a couple other wrestlers that used to wrestle full time that are strictly here to help with those stories, putting the stories together, but also protecting the business. I would say it really is one of those things that, like, you just got to have a good read on the situation. You got to have a good read on the two people. Like I've always said, if you see two people wrestling and there's no context like context to it, then no one's going to care. But if you have some type of a leg of a story involved with it, then suddenly people really do care. Putting the stuff together is not easy, and sometimes it can fall apart very easy. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of heads. There's a lot of communication going on. There's never anything that just happens. And if it just happens, then it's not happening the way it should be, if you catch my drift.
Gotcha. I don't know. I got a suggestion. I think you should keep doing with your wife causing you to lose.
Yeah. A lot of people like that.
A lot of people do not.
A lot of people just love
That'd be great.
when she does that.
I'll tell you, man. I really enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah,
same, man. We're really appreciative to it. I mean, like I said, this is all we like to do. We like talking about wrestling. We like building, this whole entire thing. It's made our relationship better. I mean, we've been together for, a long time, 14 years. And, being able to sit beside my wife to do these things is incredible. But, it's you guys out there that are willing to take your time to hear our story that really helps us out. So we are very thankful for that. Thank you guys very much.
Oh, glad to.
Well, actually, all the credit goes to Kenny. I mean, Kenny's been covering you guys for a long time, and he turned me on to it. He's like, "Why don't we bring him on the show?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Yeah. Kenny actually gave me one of my very first interviews as a pro wrestler, and never forget it. It was I think it was Burger King. We recorded it. Yep, we recorded it on on a recorder, and then you put it out. It was on the radio at the time. The Homestown Sports Team was on the radio at the time. Right. And you guys have always really covered the wrestling, even being, HWF or Seven Mountains, CCW, doesn't matter. Covering the sport is what really matters to guys like me, because you're shining a light on something that a lot of people really aren't, okay with doing. There was a guy at the Sentinel that really didn't like wrestling for a long time. And, since he's not been there, we had a really nice article, thanks to Greg Williams, on that. He did a good job with writing that for us. But I just love any type of attention that the wrestling gets. And I'm very thankful for that, Kenny. You really have. You've been there for me, been there for Rob and Jamal and Dylan. And we just couldn't thank you enough, brother. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate helping out in any way I can. Always.
Yeah,
that's always out there. So.
I think he has an ulterior. I think he has an ulterior motive. The fat bastards. That's what he wants.
Yeah, he's trying to get that match booked.
Oh.
Well, guess what? People are going to be asking about it now.
We want those tag belts, man. We want them. We want the new ones.
Well, you come into the show. You come into the show. We'll see what we can do.
You know what the only problem, Matt, is? The only way we get those belts is if we bought them.
Or stole them. You can always steal them. People love a good
Or
stealing.
stole them, yeah.
Yeah, the only problem is they'd be able to catch us before we got out of the building.
Oh, Kenny, you're damning it, man.
Exactly.
Give yourself some credibility, guys.
We
It'd be good.
can't run, so we can't run. We can't move right. We'd have to buy them.
Well, you know, little yoga,
So, hey,
little practice.
Yoga. I would have to intermittent fast for a year to get.
You guys are rough.
Just speaking the truth. Hey, I really enjoyed this. Come back anytime. You're gonna have to come back before you do your show. Maybe bring some of the wrestlers on. We can talk to them.
Yeah, awesome.
Certainly. Thank you.
Let them get into an interview with our. Yeah, we'll let them interview with our fighting with each other on the interview. That'll be fun.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm looking forward to it.
The only thing, Kenny, is if Ford comes on, we don't piss him off.
Well, we'll stay at our computer.
He's got that look, man. I saw that picture of him. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, I hear you. Right.
Well, hey, Matt, Trista, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Yes,
Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend.
Hey, you too.
Any final words before we get out of here?
Oh, you just where you can find us at. I mean, obviously, you can find Trista and myself on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'll plug the HWF YouTube channel. You can find a lot of our matches there, a lot of content. Want to give big shout outs to our seamstress Pam Duye for doing the gear that she does for me, and huge thanks to Sam Bumgardner for taking the pictures, and Don and Tim for trusting us with another vision. I want to thank my wife. Obviously, the funny part about it is she got me booked with this interview, and then I ended up helping her get booked to be on the same interview. So we're always helping each other out. So thank you guys so much. You can find us anywhere, and we really appreciate the shout. We can't wait to see you guys. Hopefully, you guys can make it to a show. We get you guys some comp tickets and get you in there and check out a live show.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate that. We got your Facebook site up there, facebook.com HWFPYP. Go there, go to YouTube channel, and go to the community center on the 13th. Watch some good wrestling, and support Matt and all these guys, what they're trying to do here with the Honorary Wrestling Federation. Thank you both. Come back, like I said. It's been great. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, you too, guys. God bless you guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. See ya.
See ya. All right. Well, that was fun, Kenny.
It was. That flew by again too. They're really starting to fly by even faster. Each episode we do something.
Yeah, I still have to figure that out, though, because I could tell when we were talking to them, there's a delay.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's my internet, your internet, their internet, whatever. But, it is a live stream, and it's going to happen.
Right.
Because I don't like talking over people. But do you have anything to say? Any local stuff or whatever before we get out of here?
I got a special shout out. I know we gave her a shout out last week, but Judy had a picture. Hold
on.
I got to do the walking of the ducks.
Yeah, I got to do the feeding of the ducks, buddy. Okay, so you got a shout out, and I know who it's going to be, so go ahead.
Okay, we're gonna go with Lizzie Gazier, Juniata pitcher. Just recently threw her 500th career strikeout. Uh, Unbelievable! It was crazy.
Yeah,
She's
that's
been,
incredible.
and I think she's a junior, I believe. So it's who's to say where she's going to end up whenever this is all said and done.
How about it? You know, there's got to be colleges looking at her, man, just drooling.
And I have another one. East Juniata pitcher Marley Wilson pitched a no hitter, perfect game on I believe it was Monday against Sugar Valley of Loganton, and their team got behind her, scored 15 runs in the first 3 innings, and she set them up and or put them up and set them down. So congratulations to her. And let's talk about Mifflin County. Yesterday was a great day to be a
Madison.
Husky. Was it Madison? I think it was.
No,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
I'm going to bring
Yeah.
Madison up then. That's
yes,
my
yes.
shout out. But go
Yes.
ahead.
Oh, I think the tennis team picked up their first win of the year against Gettysburg, 3-2. The softball and baseball teams won, and the track team swept Stilton High and Millersville in track and field. So it was a great day. So congratulations, Huskies.
And yeah, and earlier, Matt, I think when was that? Last week or the beginning of this week? Madison Wolfgang for the Huskies softball threw a no hitter. It was a two hitter, I believe. I mean, a 2-walk. She was 2 walks away from a perfect game. She had 10 strikeouts, 2 walks through the no hitter. So congratulations to her.
Yeah, one thing that she does,
Anybody?
her no hitters. I was gonna say her no hitters are very quietly done. Most people forget that in the District 6 game and in the game against Altoona, I believe we're both no hitters.
Nice. So, what else is coming up on the horizon? We got the U.S. Open Wrestling coming up at the near the end of the month. Trent and Hayden the Hidley boys, the Brothers of Destruction, will try to go and earn a spot on the world team. The winner of that goes to Final X to take on the number 1 guy at that weight. So we'll see there. Maybe we can get them on. But coming up, we got some in the show. We'll have softball, Mifflin County, Craig Weston. We're going to have John McGonigal, Mifflin County baseball. As I said, we'll try to get Hayden and Trent. And we got some Junior Babe Ruth. So we got busy time here, Kenny.
Oh yeah, this is the best time of the year. A lot of teams competing, a lot of athletic events, enough to keep you going until football season.
Right, and in the meantime, we got to keep training our tag team.
Yeah, got to work on that.
I got a bag of. I'm training. I got a bag of Lays here.
I'm gonna do some weightlifting on a pizza.
See, I was gonna say you're. There you go. We got to. I didn't want to tell Matt like I gave him those names because I'm an old school guy. He might not even known who Haystacks Calhoun was. Do you remember Haystacks?
Oh yeah, he was actually winding down his career when I started watching wrestling back in the Bob Backlund days.
Yeah, gigantic. I don't know how he could. I don't know how he could move around in that without weight, but he did somehow.
I don't know how.
All right, any final words, my friend?
I just want to wish everybody out there a happy Easter and enjoy. Hope you get a time to spend with your family and have some memories this holiday weekend.
Yeah, you going anywhere, or is it going to be at home?
I'm actually gonna be going to see the grandkids and spending time with family this weekend.
Nice, nice. I'm a homebody. I'm staying at home.
Mm.
Well, all right. That's going to wrap it up. We keep going over, Kenny, so I'm not ever going to say that it's going to be an hour. We'll go for as long as we decide. How about it?
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah. So much stuff to go over.
All right. That's going to wrap it up for this. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. That's going to wrap it up for us tonight. Thanks for listening to the Press Box. Thanks for tuning in. And May 13th again is the wrestling, the HWF, at the Lewistown Community Center. Go check it out. And that's going to do it for tonight. For Kenny Varner, I'm Brian Carson. Thanks for listening, everybody. See you next week. Have a great holiday. Bye.
Good night, everybody.